Good evening everyone, hello and welcome to OTL Community Racing here on Twitch for round number 3 of season number 5 of our Touring Car League here on Project Cars 2. So yes, at Imola GP tonight, or the only Imola layout you get on Project Cars 2, and the drivers are nearly all ready to go. Evening AJ, good luck this evening, hope you're doing well. So just the one driver missing out tonight, so yeah, I think we should have one more to join the party. I think there should be 10 drivers. There we go. Yoda hopping back in the lobby. So we are about ready to go. No, that's a beamer. That's a beamer. Okay, that's a beamer. SSR Stenner. Appreciate the follow. Thank you very much. Oh, there we are. So worth joining. So that's up to the 10 now. Is Yoda gone again? Is he in here still? Oh, or am I just going blind? No, I think he has to. I think he's disappeared again. Disconnected. That's a good start. So yeah, hopefully he'll get in the lobby nice and soon. And yeah, should be some great racing as always with these. It's such a close grid. Yeah, so NASCAR. You sure? Are you mad? No, it's no, season 5 touring cars. You know, can't beat him. Especially on Project Cars 2, especially with this layout we've got with the makeup of this grid. It's so well balanced. It's pretty superb, and yeah, the racing's pretty awesome. Evening Tam, evening. Wham Bam Tam is like my nickname for you. Yoda having some problems here. So the only option they'll have is to either restart the lobby and get everyone else in again, or restart it. Yeah, restart it or go without him. We have done that before where we've restarted if someone's... Because sometimes it's just, you know, just the lobby is having issues with 1 or 2 people. But we don't normally get that problem, so they might just continue. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. It's probably Yoda's connection. But I'm good either way. I can sit here waffling to you. Waffling to you all, so... We'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. So they're either going to go shortly. They'll probably get Yoda in one more time. They're always here nice and early anyway, so it's not going to make much of a difference if we take a couple more minutes. We have only just got to 8 PM, so it's going to be... it might start in a second. Yeah, good luck tonight, Jay Higg. It's, yeah, interesting circuit. Imola. So pretty fun in the touring cars. Done them a few times. Right, Yoda's back in. Let's see if this works this time. Fingers crossed. Yoda managed his Wi-Fi. So let's have a look. See how hopefully this goes. Hopefully he stays in this time. And they're going to get going. Hopefully Yoda stays in. So anyways, yes, let's get amongst it. So, yeah, 3 races. As always, first race, top 3 in the championship sit in the pit. So that will be Tam, Willie and AJ sitting in the pits, as they are your current top 3 in the standings after the first 2 weeks. There's some interesting performances been in so far. Nope. No, sorry, not 5, 6. This is number 6. They've done quite a few other seasons. We've done Radicals twice, V8s 2 or 3 times. Cleo's gets a lot. So you'd be, and you know, they're 6 weeks, 2-week assessments, a gap of a week in between. So you're talking 8, 9 weeks a season. So you only get 4 or 5 in a year. Do you know what I mean? So actually, it spreads out. But no, like proper official season since the start that I counted. Trust me. That's how many we've done. So yes, let's look at the points as they sit currently then after 2 weeks of racing. So there we go. Tam sitting at the top of the leaderboard. Evening, Harry. Good to see you as well, man. Lots of hurry in one day for me. That makes what a Tuesday I'm having. Good to see you. Yeah, Scott's top 3. I know. It's terrible. And with an Irishman as well. First Englishman in 4th, which I'm sure is where you think they should be. But yeah, Tam driven superbly so far. 5th is his worst finish. So actually he's having an absolute pearler of a season. Willie Blackhammer 146, 13 points behind. And he's had 2 terrible races in the championship so far. 2 10th place finishes. So he's hemorrhaged points there, really. Other than that, if it wasn't for that, you'd think he'd probably be in the lead. But yeah, just not been able to hold on for long enough. In the race, he's just had a few crashes here or there, getting caught up in a few incidents. AJ in 3rd, he's only 3 points further. But those 3, a little bit adrift of everyone else, pushing further up the standings. Oh, someone's happy. Language, Tam. No, joking, obviously. It's Captain Crampy just behind Yoda. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 1. Very close between the 2 of them. Crampy not here with us tonight, though, unfortunately. Mr. Fish in 6th, which is just down to a few odd races. Actually won 2 of the 3 races last week. Just couldn't bring it home in the race in between. I think he had a disconnect while it was right up there. He was in the top 3 or 4. And we were on board with a massive disconnected. Very unlucky. Didn't have a great first week either, so slightly harmed his points tally. Chaos Theory, so previous season champion in the Radical SR3 RS, but not quite as formidable in these touring cars. Much more level playing field. J Hig down in 8th. He's had 2 pole positions in this championship. Hasn't been able to make it stick in the race. Just not quite gone his way. He's had a 2nd and a 3rd where I believe he finished 1st on track, and then time penalties paid to it. So he's got the pace. I said this grid is so close, so close. Easily the closest racing we have anywhere. I think it's from back to front. There's very little between them, and it's always amazing to watch to see how they'll fare week on week. D-Stack again, another superb driver down in 9th. Really pushed into the top tier this season and showing his worth. Crunk Chronic as well. Again, a lot of these drivers got the pace. It's just getting familiar with the rest of the grid and putting it together in a whole race. Even though they're only 10 minutes, makes quite a lot of difference. We've got Worth 907 first week last week, and really held his own superbly. So it's great to see how he fared last week. And then we've got Wizard U at the bottom. Wasn't able to make it last week, so that's cost him a few points. But he's back amongst it this week, so hopefully he'll have a good showing this time round. Evening, Callum. Evening. So one of Team Lewis, which is Worth's real name, in the house. Yeah, hopefully he'll have a good night tonight. Interesting to see how he fares round Imola. Legger. No FIFA. Well, actually, no, I might not be on for FIFA anyways. Fair point. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I might not be able to get on anyways after this. Got other things I need to do, unfortunately. But yeah, that's all right, man. have a good night's sleep for once and chill out for a bit. So Chaos Theory with the first lap in, 58.840. Be interesting to see how close they are around a slightly longer circuit than usual. So we'll stand board with Fish for the rest of his hot lap then. So just come round through the Variante Alta up towards the top of the lap, coming down the hill towards our Rivazza. Final couple of corners, two left-handers. Got to be very careful with track limits, as we know on Project Cars. He's actually handled that very nicely there. Oh, look at that at the top. D-Stack at the top now, 52.116. J Hick only 6 thousandths off of him already, just on the first lap. So nearly halfway through qualifying as well, so obviously the longer out lap does not help. Fish coming over the line, where does he go? 1.8 back, so not the best lap from him. J Hick looking pretty strong. It looks like he's in behind D-Stack actually on circuit. That'll be interesting. Yoda just ahead of them as well. So top three actually very close to each other. On track as well. He doesn't like the circuit. Well, we'll see. He might handle himself well. I'm sure he'll get amongst it. It's pretty high quality standard, this top tier. It's not the easiest even just to hold your own. So we'll see how he fares himself. Yeah, BMW is going to be a bit good this week, I think. And Yoda says no to that. So there are only two BMWs on the circuit, and I believe they are. That one that just went pole, at 151.972 from Chaos Theory, puts it up the top, and Mr. Fish, who we were on board with a minute ago. Yeah, they're going to go well round here. So, yes, Fish is strong. It's going to come a cropper at other circuits in the season, for sure. It's not just going to murder the entire championship. It's not going to be quite that easy in the BMW, as much as it is fast. Oh, yes, of course he is. Yes, no wizard in the BMW. So we do have a few. So AJ gets the fun of being the car that has to start right at the rear of the grid of those three that have to set out quali for just being too damn good. So the top three in the standings at the start of the evening, and then race two. The people who set out quali will be the first three from this first race. So it's a great format. Works superbly. Has done for quite a long time now on Xbox. It's something they've used it for quite a few championships, probably a good year now or so. And yeah, we've had many close titles, and really good events so far. You're not last, not yet, Willie, not yet. No. Yeah, OP. No, Opel is not OP. It's not even OP compared to itself. It's the worst of the four, isn't it? So BMW is just everyone says, oh, it's just quicker, it's just got higher top speed. It hasn't. It just gets to it quicker. If it's got better acceleration out of the corner, so if you nail the corner exit, not yet. No, yeah, it's not just the fastest in the straight. It hasn't got the top speed. Its top speed is very little difference. But its acceleration out of the corner, the initial acceleration is very good. So if you make the most of that and you get out of the corner as well, that first, say, 50 yards out of the corner, you're doing it quicker than a Megane is, or a Mercedes or an Astra. But obviously, it's just Meganes and BMWs in this championship. Might be talking out on my backside, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. What is that? A bit too much sausage curb there. At the bus stop. So that will not be a quicker lap for him. So he'll just up the road though. Let's stay on board with him a little bit. Angry, very angry. No, they won't be that angry. Funny, but let's not. Yeah, he's taking a few track limits there that I don't think are going to be too happy. I'll tell them if they're angry or not. Don't you worry. Don't worry, AJ. I'll tell them. So Yoda, is he pushing? It's coming down to the line now. It's quite a gap between him and the top three at the moment. So you can see those that are maybe struggling just a little bit at the moment. Fish hasn't quite nailed the time yet either. I think maybe one of those that's struggling a little bit with track limits. So Yoda up to still in 4th, but Legger told me to. Yeah, that'll go down like a sack of unpleasant stuff. So Mr. Fish still pushing, struggling. Okay, so they've put some practice in. It's maybe struggling to get a valid lap in at the moment. It's very easy to invalidate around here. Track limits are be harsh. They're not great around here. So in qualifying, it's quite easy to not actually do a good lap because you're only going to get enough time for 3 or 4. Yeah, I heard Fish doing right last night. Maybe we're getting a bit sweary at the track limits, apparently, according to him. No, that's stupid. It's the same for everyone else. Literally, it's a pathetic excuse when people moan about track limits on project cars. It's like, you know where the track limits are, use them. You did rage. Not fair enough. Oh, and D-Stack, I think, is done. Putting off to the side. No, but there's the same track limits for literally everybody. Literally everybody. You know where they are? Adhere to them. And that sounds horrible, but it's true, isn't it? It's literally exactly the same for every single driver on circuit. So they're completely fair. You turn them off, everyone will take... I've done leagues where they turn track limits off. People take the mick. Trust me, it ruins it really quick because you don't know how much they're taking the mick. That's the problem. You don't know how much... Yeah, it's the same awful... It's the same horrendous track limits for everybody, so it's completely fair. So Carl's Theory looking on for pole. Can Fish do anything about it? One of the other 2 BMWs, 1.3 seconds back. Has he improved at all? If so, is he improved by enough to take a few positions? So he's only improved by 2/10. I know that pops up. Sorry, that was Wolf popped up into 4th there. A little bit of a slipstream behind him. Oh, Yoda will stay in 5th. So Miss Fish starts in 6th. So he was looking strong at the start of tonight and just hasn't been very comfortable. And I think that's basically everybody done. It is. Tier 2, I don't know, to be honest. They're decent, but it's a fair bit off of this Tier 1. I think Wolf would have absolutely annihilated Tier 2 if we'd have carried on there. But there are a few quick drivers in there, but I think the rest of the pack may be a bit more sort of normal pace. These guys are just a bit silly fast. So there we go then. Chaos Theory with a 51.972, taking your pole position for the first race this evening. D-Stack and J-Hig, 2nd and 3rd. Wolf in 4th. Yoda down in 5th, just ahead of Mr. Fish in 6th. Grunt Chronic 7th, ahead of Wizard U in 8th. Then we have Tam, Willie Blackhammer, and AJ's at the rear of the grid. Yeah, Callum, if you want to do like future leagues, you have to do they do casual nights, assessment nights effectively, because we try to make sure that people who are jumping into our leagues aren't horrendously dirty or just wrecking balls effectively. It seems to work well. You still get crashes, but you filter out the idiots a lot faster. If you do want to get involved, you can join the Discord, and then if you're not already in it, and chat in the chat channels, and look out for the casual nights when they take part, and then you'll be much more likely to be able to jump into the leagues. So, ready to go. Nice camera shot here of the whole grid. And they are off the line. Calcifer getting off nicely. Chronic was going to be getting a 30-second penalty there for a jump start from the game there, so that'll suck. So his race is pretty much ruined from the off. Look at that start though, and that BMW absolutely disappearing off into the distance. Mr. Fish already up into a fight for 2nd. Oh, there's a car going off in the background. Not sure who that is. That might be Tam. It is. Tam's had a nightmare at the start. Oh, Fish getting a bit wiggly. Just about saves it. So very well held there. He's got on board with Chaos Theory. So coming through Tamburello, looking nice and clean. Sorry, Tamburello then to Villeneuve up in towards the left-hander up the hill. This is into Tosa. Jay Higgs still holding on to 2nd. Dave Stack in 3rd. What happened to Mr. Fish? Where is he? Down in 5th now. So he's dropped a couple of spots. He's under attack now from Yoda. Yoda on the inside. Just a little bit alongside, but Fish just able to use that acceleration out of the previous corner. Get up the hill just ahead of him. Coming down now towards Aqua Minerale. A little bit of a wiggle there from Yoda. That's going to give Willie a bit of an opportunity behind him. So Mr. Fish disappears off into the distance now to attack Worth. You might be able to. You could. I mean, we'll find out if you race with them, I suppose. And that's, is that Willie behind? Having a bit of a move on Yoda. It's going to hamper his exit though. Yep, that's going to be a track limit. So the game is going to say no, thank you. AJ looking to move past the both of them, and looks like he's able to do so. So he moves up into 6th. So that group ahead of them, you can see, are getting away a little bit now. Chaos Theory already 1.9 ahead. There are going to be track limits pretty much galore around here. Tam making the move up this inside of Yoda. Yoda going backwards a little bit. So Chronic, the only driver to have an absolute nightmare on the first lap. Easy to do around here as well, though. Chronic off the back. Oh, goes off into the gravel. So maybe just struggling a bit tonight. So he's done fairly well in Tier 1 so far. I think he's held his own pretty well. So I've got back on board with Chaos Theory then. So he's, look at that, 2.2 seconds clear. J-Hig, half a second clear. It says half a second, but this pretty much right on his bumper. They've got a good second gap back to Mr. Fish, who holds a 4th spot. You can see Worth right in behind him. AJ a little bit of a gap back to Willie, Tam and Yoda. Wizard a little bit off the back. Let's go and have a look at the time penalties so far. There's been a plenty. 2 seconds for both Chaos Theory and J-Hig. 1 second for Worth, 1 second for Wizard, and then that 20 seconds, not 30, sorry, for Chronic for that jump start. So 3 minutes nearly into race number 1. It's not even the speed, it's consistency. People who can do hot laps but can't race consistently, they suffer much more. You're better in having a pace and being able to do it close to that pace every lap. It's just that practice. 2 or 3 seconds isn't too bad. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there. Oh, from Worth, so he's held that really well, but don't know if that was lag or just him actually where he went. If that's where he went, I think the game might be chucking another time penalty at him. You can see they're already racking up on the left-hand side. All of those with the red backgrounds behind their numbers, all racking up a nice gamut of time penalties, as you often do on here. Hard to avoid. Coming down again to Ravazza for the end of lap number 2. Chaos Theory, that 2.6 second lead. But they do have a couple of seconds time penalties. The D-Stack does want to just keep his nose clean. You can see him in the background there. Worth going a little bit wide onto that curb. Game is not going to like that. So you can see now how many people haven't got time penalties. 3 at the end of lap number 2. And look at that. J-Hig's now got 4 seconds. That would drop him back currently into 5th and possibly even 6th or 7th if he loses a few more tenths. Okay, 159. Yeah, so it's to be in tier 1's like 152s. In terms of race pace, it's like 152s. A lot of these could do, but in a race it's a bit different. But yeah, I mean tier 2. I mean that's what tier 2's there for. Get amongst it, get in the races, and just it's practice makes perfect, man. The practice, it's the more time you put in. Well, look, there's only some more time penalties being handed out here. I was told beforehand there's probably going to be quite a few time penalties, and Fish was not wrong. He was not wrong. The Yoda feeling left out at the moment. I think he's going for the tactic. If he doesn't get any time penalties, he could still win this race, even in 8th. He's probably, again, not wrong. So there's still the closest battle further forward. Fish trying to get D-Stack and J-Hig. J-Hig dropping back towards these guys. So, again, chunky amount of penalties he's got. It's going to hurt him pretty badly. When I get towards the end of the race. Go further back. We've got this fight between AJ here with Worth right in front. Is he going to make a move? I mean, he's going to have a look. A little bit of sausage curve is going to not help him though. Worth takes that quite nicely. He's got AJ here with Willie Blackhammer. He's got Yoda and then Tam all in a line here. So coming down to Ravazza again. A little bit of a move out from a little bit of a dummy from Willie Blackhammer, but I don't think it's going to work for him. He might have to go the long way round. He'll have a go. But yeah, he's just going to get squeezed a little bit. He's going to take a little bit of the curb. Try and get that nicer entry line through the final corner. So end of lap number 3. Still nice and close. Nice, man. Yeah, keep going. And the racing sometimes with the guys in tier 2 can be great for you. It really does. It's just sometimes you can't learn that racecraft unless you're getting to use it in races. So it's clean racing is what we want more than anything else. People make mistakes. There are still crashes, but as long as you're trying to keep it clean. AJ looking up the back of Willie, not going for anything though. Oh, look at that time penalty though. Oh, so there's a little change of order there. Mr. Fish up into 3rd now. D-Stack into 2nd as well. J-Hig drops down to 4th, so made a mistake. It's a huge amount of time penalties we've got there. Look at that. Just a wall of time penalties. Mr. Fish looking very good at the moment. So Chaos Theory and D-Stack only 2 second time penalties, so that would put Fish up to 2nd. Chaos Theory is so far ahead it would not change anything for him. And that mid-pack I'm not even going to try and work out. We'll see what happens after the race once the time penalties are applied. Because at the moment I have not a clue how that's going to end up. And I'm sure there's going to be more time penalties given between here and the end of the race in 3 minutes time. So there's no point even trying to guess. So a 6.4 second lead for Chaos Theory at the moment. So just being able to not worry about defending from other cars. Just be able to do his own pace. Drive his own race, and it's going very nicely for him. Now that's effectively got 1 2-second time penalty leg. The other one was for is just it's to jump start. 20-second time penalty is for jump start, because obviously we have drive-throughs turned off because for all the reasons you already know. We're looking down the inside. Fish making a move up inside the D stack. D stack has to go wide. Fish will go on the inside line. D stack will he go a long way round? No, he will just a little bit sideways, and that's going to give Jay Higg a chance to get back in front. So D stack down into 4th. So this is where the fighting's happening. Yeah, Imola's next Wednesday. Imola comes out on ACC. Going to be fun. Going to be good fun. I think it's on all platforms at the same time as well. I think. Might be talking out of behind again, but I'm pretty sure that's Wednesday. That's the date. Yeah, they said it was the. What's that? The 18th, which is Wednesday, isn't it? So we can have a look after this race. I did look earlier, but I think you might have just missed it. So no, but we'll look again after this race once we put this in from that. No, they haven't said a price yet, Reese. Oh, a little bit wide there for Fish. That might be him joining the time penalty crew. Yeah, he's not in there now, but he will be in a second, I reckon. And he's got no chance. He can't just stop and take the time penalty because he's got. Look at this queue now already forming. He's got Jay Higg, D Stack. You've got Worth at the back of that queue. A bit of a gap of a couple of seconds. Back to Willie Blackhammer, who's then got Tam, Yoda, and AJ on his tail. And, Chronic and Wizard Dune just not having a good night tonight, unfortunately. Now they haven't said a price yet though, so who knows? I mean, I'd be quite enjoying it if I was Chaos. This is how I used to when I used to win races when I was half decent. That's kind of how I used to do it. Try and get a pole, like get a good lapping in pole, and just have a really good first sort of half a lap to a first lap, full first lap. Not the greatest little bust up from them, and then just try and hope everyone else fought. That's the only way I could win races, leg, because if they were quicker than me, then I was screwed really. No, I used to be half decent. I might race a little bit at some point. I might actually, like I said last week, I might actually do some racing. I think they don't mind. They wouldn't mind in these leagues either. They might actually start doing a little bit of racing and streaming as well. Don't you? Or you dirty emotes. No, I'm joking. I joke. Just wondered which one it was. But yeah, we'd have to see what your Wi-Fi is like. It's another thing, Callum, to see about the for the assessment races, to see what your connection's like. Because if it's poor, like you're lagging all over the shop and the ping's terrible, then it might be that you wouldn't be able to race in the leagues anyways. It's we just have to check, be fair on everyone. But we could see. That's what the assessment's for. Oh no, is that? Please don't tell me that's a disconnect. Who's that a disconnect for? That's Jay Higg. Oh no, he's got another disconnect this week. So yeah, there are definite connection issues going on in the world of Xbox at the moment. So not Project Cars 2. I know this game, people moan about this game having its disconnect issues, but this hasn't had any problems for a while. Yeah, you're rent free, absolutely, in my head. So final lap for Chaos Series. Jay Higg, poor thing, will lose out then. Does not get any points. Well, yeah, he just gets a disconnect, and that does not reward any points, unfortunately. Yeah, well, that's the app stuff. The Xbox Live's alright. It's the Xbox app. Yeah, for the new console. No, that's just a new app, I think. So that we saw a disconnect like that last week for Mr. Fish, and it's the first time I've seen disconnects like that for so long. For so long. Massive shame. Oh, a little bit of an argy-bargy in the background between Willie and who was that? Oh, it's the car going slightly sideways. It's all got a bit unnecessarily messy towards the end, so I suspect we might see some reports there. Willie face first in the walls. He's going to have to get that turned around. He's not going to be best pleased. That's going to cost him a shed load of points. We'll go back on board with Chaos Theory. Yeah, that'll be a shame that they've driven that really nicely for the last 10 minutes, and then looks like some. I don't know. If someone's done something silly there, I called an incident a couple of weeks ago and got it wrong, so I'll be careful here. So Chaos Theory, yeah, well done, Chaos. Nearly 10 seconds. Boring way to win a race, but hey ho, you've got to do it somehow, haven't you, Chaos? Well done, man. Mr. Fish will take second as long as he hasn't racked up more track penalties than he can take. Let's see though. This will change. This order might change a bit. So who will get third after all the penalties are taken? It's D-Stack. D-Stack with the third spot, so he will not qualify for race number 2. AJ taking fourth. Tam taking fifth. Yoda sixth. Yeah, Willie takes 7th. We're down to 8th in the end with track penalties. Crunk Chronic taking 9th spot, and then we've got Wizard U coming over that line in 10th spot. So yeah, going for J Hig. But yeah, I just think maybe a few disconnects. They might be due to a few more issues at the moment with Xbox, quite possibly. Let's see, we've got the fastest lap then. Well, we didn't really have to. Oh, that's weird. Wizard U. So by the looks of that, for example, Wizard U hasn't had a valid lap all race. All 6 laps have been validated, I think, because it's got a blank spot there, which is interesting, but totally understandable. 151.774 for Chaos Theory. 151.774. Thank you very much, Willie, as always, for putting the results in, so we can check the points very shortly. Oh, I'm gutted. Gutted, J Hig. So we're trying to slow down for the slow downs and paid off. All right, fair enough. Yeah, fair play if it's worked for you. You saw everyone else's time penalties were much worse than yours. I mean, I was told it was going to be bad tonight, but dearie dear. They can't just jump in. No, it's when we have like we have evaluation races, like assessment races, just to make sure people's connections are good and that they're not like raving lunatics behind the wheel. Because I mean, we've all seen them. I'm sure that's probably why most people want to do leagues. We do have plenty of casual nights, so you can get involved in those when they're hosting them. They announce them in the Discord. And then next time the championship comes round, I mean, if the pass evaluation and there's space in tier 2, I'm not sure at the moment there is, but if anyone drops out or there's a reserve needed, and you pass evaluation, then you can be hopping into that for sure. But yeah, you have to get involved in assessments first, I'm afraid, just to try and keep it as clean as possible. So we trust most people. Most people are good, but it's just don't want to be completely just letting people into the leagues out of nowhere who've not seen race before. It's just a bit risky. It seems to have done quite well for us so far. Yeah, that's pretty much. And well, that's not people disconnecting though, is it, Reece? That's people. It's people lagging that you don't want. It's people whose cars are shooting left, right, and centre all over the shop. So can Jay get back in? Hopefully you can. Hello, Chaos. You could at least, make it more interesting. It makes it fun. It does not make it fun. Part of Grampy last week in the GT3 League at ACC. He had Ash's car disconnected, and Ash's car submarine into the floor, and then sort of flipped sideways straight towards the apex, and Grampy had just crashed straight into the roof of his car. He didn't know where to go. Cool, Winnes. Yeah, are you already in the Discord? Winnes? Just if you get in there, if you're not, have a look there. If you are already in there, then just mention in the Xbox Project Cars channels, and then just say you'd like to get involved. And that's cool. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. So you can see they've got 2 tiers at the moment. So we had a few more sign-ups than that. We had 30 sign-ups. We had 30 sign-ups, a few that couldn't get in due to either like connection issues or failing assessment. But we've got 2 full tiers. And then if you just mention it in the Project Cars Xbox channels, they can point you in the right direction, make sure you know when stuff is going on. If you look on the Xbox Club as well, I'm assuming you play it on Xbox, Winnes. If you play it on PC, we don't do anything on PC, but this is Xbox. Yeah, me neither, Chaos. Me neither. Yeah, so we're struggling to get Jay here again. So it's a bit like the Yoda at the start. So very odd. Bit of a bummer. Hopefully he can get in. Fingers crossed anyways. Let's see if I'm missing any notifications. Not as of yet. So, getting him back in again. Hopefully it stays in this time. Fingers crossed. And then get going for race number 2. So more of the same. But yeah, top 3 from that first race not qualifying. So Chaos Theory, Mr. Fish and D-Stack all sitting in the bits. And get the fun of monitoring instead. For 10 minutes, get a quick toilet break. Quick drink. cigarette if they're that way inclined. And then they get straight into the race. So they have to just use the momentum. Hopefully they're still feeling nice and warmed up from the first race. That normally does the trick. Not easy to come into the first race of the evening. No quality and just race. But they manage it. It's part of the challenge. Hope not, Jay. Because like I said, it might have something to do with the new Xbox coming out and you know, bits and bobs to do with that and the load that's causing. But don't think so. Hope not, anyways. Right, so all 11 in so far. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully it does stay that way. So then the other drivers getting a chance tonight. Second race, who, you've got Carl Theory and the like having to sit in the pits. So others have the opportunity, if they leave the pits that is, to try and nab a solid qualifying. You do see the second race for sure giving pretty varied results, which is what that format's for. You know, it's not actually that easy to drive through the order, even with a 10-car grid. They're all of a similar enough pace. Actually, it's quite a tough fight to get from sort of 9th or 10th, unless you drive an absolute pearler of a race, which you do see. A bit of tire warming going from AJ, or that's just the way he drives up there, I don't know. Jay Higgs back amongst it, hopefully, as he said, not disconnecting this time now. What do you mean, what's the Discord name? What's our Discord? What's the name of our Discord server? So if you click that link a little bit further up in that Nightbot post, the Discord channel, that will take you straight to our Discord. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you were right, Fish. Literally everybody got a track penalty. You looked like you were going to be nice and clean at most of it, but in the end, not to be. You joined their ranks, unfortunately. But yeah, pretty strict, and there's a few tough corners. This one, for example, very easy to go wide on the exit there. Horrid turn. But you're doing all right, getting round, slowly but surely. I would say slowly but surely wins the race. It doesn't here. Oh, it doesn't here. You're not going to get anywhere near Chaos Theory driving slowly and surely. But you know, drivers like Tam, I don't think he's had the word slowly and surely in regards to his driving. Not with how I've seen him race the last few seasons. Just like it a little bit sideways. Said my thing with him is that he likes to drive it like he stole it. So I think his nickname should be Wham Bam Tam, personally, but hey ho. I think the calm is a little bit misleading. He's a Scot. I mean, he's going to have a raging temper, I'm sure. But no, he's a great lad. And yeah, quick driver. Not going to go a bit wide there, get a penalty for that in the race. And yeah, he looked really good. Like I said, he was in the top 4 at the start of the evening. He's actually, sorry, top of the standings, isn't he? So let's see how he's faring now after the first race tonight. So still holding on to that lead with 13 points between him and AJ. They finished in 5th and 4th in that first race. Willie Blackhammer in 3rd, came 7th in race number 1. And Chaos Theory, the winner of that first race. Wicked winner. Yeah. If you do the rolls, hopefully the rolls were all good. Oh, even in the batch as well. If you do the rolls, and shout out in the Xbox Project Cars chat. Just say you've watching the stream, you'd like to get involved in racing, like some casual nights if possible, so that you can take part in future leagues. And like I said, this is round number 3, so there's only 3 weeks after this, and then they'll have an off-season again. Whether there'll be another season before Christmas, I'm not sure. Maybe a smaller little thing or some casual evenings, I'm not sure. But there'll definitely be opportunities to race. They race more than just the league races. Oh, tyres died later on, just saw that Fish. Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but hey, you drove very well. But yeah, AJ and Tam still at the top of the points, like I say. But Chaos Theory with that win in 4th, but has closed that gap now down to 32 points. He's just 3 ahead of Fish. Not much ahead of Yoda either in 5th and 6th. A bit of a gap down to Crampy in 7th. Got Jay Higg in 8th. As I said, he's shown good promise in this league. Just it hasn't quite been able to materialise in the races themselves, but it's definitely got the ability. So I think Jay Higg's will be someone that we see inch forward. Hopefully, as the season goes on even further, he's shown he's got it. It's just that once that consistency and a bit of luck at the same time all comes with the race pace, then he's going to be golden. He'll be right up there. D-Stack another one. Seen him do some superb racing in this championship. Got a top 3 in that first race. You know, that's his first podium of the season. He's got a 6th and a 5th as well. He's got a DNF, which doesn't help, and that would have maybe pushed him up. A few more points would have pushed him up a position, maybe 2. And then Crunk Chronic and Worth and Wizard. Again, there's not a slow driver in this championship. So Chaos is very quick. He qualified for the Logitech G quarterfinals. Unfortunately, got a bit wiped out in that qualifier, but qualified for it in the first place. So we know how he's really fast. But that was his first win of this championship. So yeah, it's not a walkover by any stretch. So we've seen Wizard U qualify for events as well. So we know how fast he is. Thank you very much for the follow, Winnes. Much appreciated, Matt. Much appreciated. So just over halfway in second qualifying tonight. We'll be very careful with that curb there. You know, Fisher's, like I said, is a little bit scared of that curb. Yeah, they're looking good at the moment. 151.716. We always know he's got the raw lap times. But again, putting them together in a race environment when the cars are that close, not easy. Not easy at all. Really up into second. Half a second back from Yoda. So they are struggling to live with that sort of time at the moment. We're just getting a tester lap in. So Jay Higg far back from them. So in 4th at the moment, 1.2 behind. So we've seen Yoda. He can do those cracking hot laps. We've seen him do very well in race environments as well. They've got stuck behind another car a little bit here. Hopefully no racing in quali because they know that's a no-no, but they're still doing it anyways. The car on the inside lifting off there. Could be well behaved. That was Tam. Naughty. Yeah, you do have to be careful of that. You need to give each other room. I mean, there are only 11 of them on Imola. You would think they could. You could think they could space out a tad, don't you? It's just a lot of. It's like on any game. They're all very impatient. They just get out on track, foot down. I want to go race. Come on, get round quick now. Where another, really, it's like actually, I'm going to wait 10 seconds, let you all sod off up the road, maybe 15 seconds, really let you disappear, and then just drive around on my own for 10 minutes. But no one seems to do that. Always, understood. That's how I used to do it, and it seemed to work all right for me. So I don't know why they don't. Yeah, it is, but I don't think that's why they're doing it. Because honestly, we do have other tracks. It's enough. People still just go, I want to go now. I'm keeping my foot down. Sod having space. I want to race. That's my theory, anyways. I don't actually. I think the slipstream is just a nice byproduct. Look what he's done. You know, to come around the final corner. I mean, there is a bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of truth. There is some people who do it for the slipstream, but I'm not sure everyone's thinking about it that much, if I'm honest. So does Yoda improve his time? Already nicely in the lead with 51.7. Sam coming over the line, still 1.170 behind, so very little improvement behind. Jay Higg, not an improvement from him, 52.9 still. Wizard U, come around the final couple of corners. Again, did not have a good race one, but we know what he's capable of, perfectly capable of a really solid performance. So he's qualified for these esports events before. So we know he's fast. I think he might still be on controller. Not 100% sure. He might be on the wheel now, but was on controller last time I knew. That might have changed. Does not improve. So yeah, struggling. Definitely struggling. AJ in 6th. Hasn't put a representative lap time in yet. Neither is Worth. Crunk Chronic struggling a little bit as well. So we saw Wizard U in that first race. Did not have a best lap displayed. So must have invalidated every lap. He is. Okay. Yeah, I thought. What, he is what? Controller or wheel? Which one? It's like, well, what one would you prefer? Controller or wheel? Yes. Damn it, which one? Right, evening, Loic. How you doing, man? Gas indeed. Yeah, not... sometimes you do need to explain what that middle pedal's there for. Oh, yes, controller still. Yes, so he's... And he can live with these guys. You know, he can live with them. So just a tough old league to compete in this. I'm not too bad, Loic. Thanks, man. I'm not too bad. Change for today from Misano. Ah, nice. Lovely. That's going to be fun. Track limits there are interesting, just like they are here, really. Imola on Project Cars. They're a bit beastly on Misano. Easy to get a slow down round there, as I'm sure you were finding out in your practice. Which is what it's for, I'm supposing. You know, it's at least you know that now. But no, should be good. Should be good. So checker flag is out. Willie Blackhammer is done. He's sat in the pits. Let's watch Chronic come over the line. Does he get a valid time in? Comes around that final little kink. He does. Pops up into 7th ahead of Worth. Oh, and that's Yoda driving it properly sideways. That's Yoda channeling his inner Tam, I would call that. Yeah, he's driving very, very well at the moment. Yeah, looks superb in the first 2 races. Fair play to him. He's been gutted the previous seasons, haven't quite gone his way. Jay Higg is done. Wizardu is done. Chronic we already know is done. Worth still pushing hard here. Behind Tam though, I think. So he's just going to have to be nicely behaved. No overtaking. Saying that, I think, where's Tam? Yeah, Tam went very wide straight into the pits there. So he's done. I thought so. As soon as I saw him drift, I think he was like, right, he'll be in the pits in a second. And yeah, off he went. So no slipstream for Worth. Getting nicely up there through the Aqua Minerale. Up to the Variante Outer now. Again, oh, that might be I wonder if that was invalidation. It might be okay. Might have just about taken that okay. So Worth down in 8th. So 20 seconds off you could see there. So he hasn't actually set a valid, like, solid hot lap time. And this will be his last opportunity. So he's got to try and make sure gets Ravazza right. Last couple of corners. Try not to get a track limit penalty. Taking it nicely there, but yeah, very close in the mid pack. Like I said, Reece, there's always good pace around here, especially on the in the race itself. But yeah, and with the qualifying format, you do see some gaps now and again for people having to miss out. Say some of the quick guys missing out in race number 2 from quali. And we've put us up into 3rd. What a cracking effort that was! So last ditch effort, the last chance you had. And look at that, Worth puts it up into 3rd, 3/4 of a second back. Superb effort there. So well done to you there, Worth. Yoda, though, taking that pretty dominant pole position. 151.716 from him. Willie Blackhammer in 2nd, just ahead of Worth in 3rd. AJW in 4th. Just AJ, don't know why I call him that. AJ in 4th. Tam in 5th. Jay Higg down in 6th. Wizardu 7th. Chronic in 8th. And then we had D-Stack, Chaos Theory and Mr. Fish. Because they've been following each other. Possibly. Honestly, they said there was a touring car race in the season before this one, I think, where the entire grid, or most of the grid, I think 8 of the cars were within, I think it was within about 1.5 seconds. Like just a queue right at the end of the race. Like the stuff happens in the race, so they do spread out a little bit, but in terms of actual speed and ability, it's really, really close on the Xbox leagues. In this Project Cars 2, in the Project Cars 2 leagues, really close, and it's always great to watch. You know, ACC is amazing, especially on PC. You can have so many cars and team events, and it's all amazing. But you can still get cracking racing with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people on Project Cars 2 on console. Captain McDobber, what a name! Thank you very much for a follow, much appreciated. Yeah, that'd be nice. No, this is season number 6, but we have been around 3 years, so not really. No, we did Radicals before this. We've done V8s, Clios. We do quite a lot. Clios will probably come back pretty sharply after these. Touring cars will probably be around again in a few months' time. The red lights are all up. Hopefully, no one got a jump start this time. How good a start did Willie get? So the Beamers much further back this time, but they'll be pushing their way through very early doors. Like if you're saying that, Wizardu already onto the grass, so that's not gone well for him. Just get that back on the tarmac. Otherwise that is not going to hit the brakes very nicely when he wants to slow down. I guess it stops nicely there. Or a little tap on, just saying that, there's a little tap on Jay Higg, puts him in the gravel. Jay Higg can get back going again, so it's not the easiest corner to get round too wide, so it's not a good start for Jay Higg. He'll have to push on from the back, but I'm sure he can recover. Go back up front though, Yoda. Still holds on to the lead. Willie Blackhammer and AJ though right behind him, not really willing to let him have it his own way. Woof on the back of them too. We've got Tam, Chaos Theory, Mr. Fish. So the Beamer's not all pushing their way through early doors. We have lost someone already though. Who have we lost? Wonder who we lost there. Oh look, a bot. Don't know why they don't get modded, but there we go. Don't want to be famous, not interested. And ban. There we go. So Yoda still holding on. Well, they're taking that defensive line there. Doesn't want AJ to have a move up the inside. Yoda does already have a time penalty though, so they're starting as they mean to go on with that. Time penalties now. Time penalties all the way till later. So yeah, not sure who we lost. Have to have a look in a second. Oh, is someone missing their breaking point a little bit there? And that's going to put Willie in the gravel. Yeah, couldn't do much about that. He'll have to try and get on nice and slowly. Everyone else will give him a little bit more room. He's trying to rejoin nice and wide though. We're not quite sure who that was. So, yeah, Chronic up to 7th. J Higgs still near the back. Worth, I think it might have been worth having that, making that mistake. Maybe not. I'm not sure there. We'll have to look back at that afterwards. I think I completely got my names mixed up there. Trying to work out who we'd lost. Is it D-Stack? I think it's D-Stack. Yeah, it is. So the driver from the US must have had a disconnect. Or that looks like someone being let go. AJ flashing his lights there. Looks like he's letting some cars go, which is going to be interesting. That's going to lose him just a few spots. Down into 5th now. Willie Blackhammer right in behind him. So maybe feels like he has did an indiscretion earlier on. I'm lost. Oh, I know you did disconnected, I'm assuming. I didn't see it happen, unfortunately, but yeah, so there must be, maybe just with the new console coming out today, it's just putting a bit of a load on Xbox Live, I think, maybe. And so one each, and one in the first race, one in this race as well now. Gutting. Absolute gutting. He's got a podium so far tonight, though, in the first race. Great result, straight off. Got dropped between sessions. Oh, okay, oh, it did that, did it? Ah, right. God, I haven't seen that for a while. Because when I looked over, I was like, hang on a minute, it's only 10. AJ defending off Willie, still holding off his 5th position, so that mid-pack's still nice and close. Yoda doing what Chaos Theory did in race number 1. You can see here, look, everyone else fighting, and you just use that as an opportunity to... Ah, you reset your wheel. Ah, bummer, man. Okay, fair enough. At least you know why it happened. At least one of the best things about this format is Tam and Chaos Theory go side by side around the final corner. Very brave, and now they've got Mr. Fish, AJ and Willie right in behind them. At least you know why it happens. And the best thing about this format, we get 3 races, so chances are you get to do 2 still, so which is nice. Not somewhere where you get 1 race in an evening, and if you disconnect, that's you done, which is a bit irritating. Tam having a look around the outside of AJ. AJ still got the inside line. Very close to the back of Mr. Fish. Just slots it in behind now. Did look like I wondered whether he was going to tap the rear of him, but yeah, slots it in nicely. Tam still right in behind. And he's still got Willie not far back from him as well. So having a little bit of a look. So from the bumper of Tam, you've got AJ and Mr. Fish just ahead of him. Chaos Theory as well in the bright orange BMW. Can't quite see that though. Too much AJ right in front. Yeah, not the easiest track to drive these cars around, but it's still good fun. But yeah, I mean penalties are the same for everybody. Nice and sideways from Tam. Of course, it's the only way for him. So he's still doing a decent job here, holding that queue behind him. But you can see that he's got Mr. Fish, AJ, Tam, Willie and Chronic. And there probably was a few you could say is still in that group. See J Hig right in the back. Still see that group in front of him, but to catch them is going to be difficult. Woof is a little bit off the pack now. After I think that issue earlier on, which is a shame, but it does happen in this league with this format. Got many races. Fish wanting to catch Beamer just in front. So 2 Beamers trying to be on the prowl, trying to close down Yoda up front. They're going to want to work with each other a little bit here. He is, honestly, you can find him everywhere, absolutely. He's got to be careful not to overdo it, to be fair. It's very easy to overdo it. He does, yeah. I don't think he's doing the next race from league, so we'll have Fridays off, which is nice for him. So he does Thursdays. He doesn't do Mondays either yet, actually. So it's just so actually, technically, it's just Tuesdays and Thursdays. But he's a name you do generally see. He did the previous race from league, and I think he wants to do AMS too. Oh, saying that, Tam in the gravel. Oh dear, that's going to be a yeah. Oh, that's unlucky. Willie, just as Tam's come on. Oh no, Willie's off right off into the wall, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there. It didn't look pretty innocuous once Tam had his issue, but Willie did not rescue that in the slightest. It looked like it got back on okay, and then yeah, after that not so much. That's a shame. Poor old Willie. He's got good pace, but just yeah. If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. So Yoda's still leading, but only by 1.3 seconds. That has come down now. He's always steaming. If that means drunk, then yeah, he's always steaming. No, he's always. He doesn't mind too much. He understands. He'll report stuff if it needs to be reported. He won't. Yeah, he's. I don't actually think he's always drunk. Let me just retract that. As I said, he's not the Scot in the lobby. That's other people's. But I joke. AJ shouldn't be. He's too young for that. It's taken that long for someone to make a joke like that as well, Reece. It's terrible, isn't it? You'd have thought that would have happened way earlier. Trust you to come up with it as well. Dirty sausage. Which again itself doesn't sound very. Anyways, let's move on. So that laid only a second now. Evening Visa, evening. Good to see you. Looking forward to the racing on Friday. We've been waiting for your opportunity. Fair enough. Just wait for him to punch someone and then yep. Joking coming. So 2 minutes 20 to go. We're on to our penultimate lap now, and that lead is under a second. Those BMWs have caught him up very nicely. So Mr. Fish still looking pretty strong, still within a chance of a race win. Let's look at the time penalties. This is going to start to matter now towards the end of the race. Oh dear, yeah, Yoda's not winning. 8-second time penalty. That sounds like someone in the background had an absolute nightmare as well. I'm not sure who that was. Someone not hitting the gears quite hard as they would like to. Oh no, and Tam, don't know what's happened there unless he's had another problem. Straight to the pits just as soon as we went on board with him, so I don't know what's gone on there. It's a bit of a weird way to retire while you're still in the middle of a pack. I'll have to find out what went on there. So it wasn't a disconnect, it was definitely a retirement, so we'll find out what that was for. He's definitely got a tinny in the cup holder. Yeah, oh, probably. Have you seen his rig? It's amazing, D-Stack. It's Postman Pat. It's amazing. That's a totally new tech for me, and I haven't driven it. No, a lot of them haven't, by the sounds of things. So we'll blame Martin for that one when it goes completely, when it's just carnage. Definitely blame Martin Webb for that one. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it's like. It's great, isn't it? It's great, D-Stack. What's going on there with that glowing light on the left? Very weird. So there's a few weird things going on tonight. So one more lap after this. Car was all over the place, best retirement getting in the way. Okay, fair enough, man. If you're feeling that unsafe, then I appreciate that. Okay, that's theory all over the back of Yoda now, so Yoda's going to have a lap of having to defend. Yeah, but yeah, no, I've heard that very few have practiced. Most of them had never heard of it before. Oh, it's going wide. That was. We said Yoda isn't going to win. We know that because the 8-second time penalty very much says so. It's just 1 second time penalties for Chaos and Mr. Fish. It's up to Mr. Fish if he wants to close that gap. I mean, as it is, he'll still get a podium, but he'll get a second, of course. Yoda is actually down. He'll finish 4th or 5th. Depends how much he's slowed down by Calsteria. And to be honest, by the looks of that, there, he's either whether he's just been able to not live with the pace of the BMW, or he's actually just moved across there and gone, do you know what? I've got 8 seconds time penalty. There's no point in me fighting. He might as well fight a little bit. He's got to be careful because if he drops enough time, he'll pop down into 5th, so he'll lose even more points. But he will, that 8-second time penalty is going to cost him, unfortunately. But Chaos Theory looking great again tonight. So that beam a really strong round here, and he's shown his worth. He's not done as well in this touring car season as you'd see in previous championships, like the Radical SR3 RS they did preceding these. But Chaos is looking very, very strong. Maybe we'll get him back up to his former best. I say former, from about 4 weeks ago. It's not exactly long ago. Sounds like a box. Sounds like a box who's come out of retirement. Well, no, it was technically it was in October. It was pretty recent. But yeah, Mr. Fish just not been able to quite live with the pace of Chaos. There he is. Chaos has reeled in at Yoda. Just a few more corners to go now. Chaos Theory using those track limits, lovely. Just keeping 2 wheels inside the white line, so he should be fine on that front. Let's go back on board just a little bit. Further back, AJ still trying to fight for that, keep that fourth off of Wizard U. Doesn't gain any more time on Yoda. He might actually get a podium here. Yoda might drop back completely down into 4th spot. We'll have to see. So coming down to the line, Chaos Theory, another superb drive. Pretty sure he will still take the win. If this is racked up another huge time penalty. So Yoda comes over the line in race number 2. Superb drive there. Again, Yoda in 2nd, but he will drop down possibly into 4th. Let's have a look. Fish takes 2nd on track after the penalties. Does AJ get 3rd? He does. He does just get ahead of Yoda. Yoda down to 4th then, despite finishing 2nd on the road. We have Jay Higg coming home in 5th, so gets back in after that disconnect from race number 1. Still picking up some nice points. Worth showing us what he thinks about that. Willie Blackhammer gets over the line in 7th. Wizard U drops down to 8th, and then Chronic coming home in 9th position. So who gets fastest lap? 151. 151.595 from your race winner, Chaos Theory. Superb lap there. Well done. Tam coming home in 10th. You can see that with a retirement, as he said in the chat. Felt a bit dangerous on circuit. Fair enough. But yeah, Fish and AJ getting those other 2 podium spots. They will have to sit out the final qualifying, as always. So they get to spectate and see how the others are faring. But yeah, saw a few incidents in that race. A little bit topsy-turvy. But we should still see some cracking racing, hopefully, in race number 3. So it's always very close. You're bound to see incidents in this championship. There's not much you can do about that. So let's see any weird time penalties. Oh yeah, no, there is a weird time penalty. I'll leave that to Willie then. I was trying to help him out and then realise I'm screwing it up, so I'll stop there. Yeah, absolutely, Visa. Yeah, drove well there. Yeah, times 38 is, so that'll be 8 seconds of his own penalty. So that'll be, I mean, Yoda got 12. He got 8 seconds and got 4 right towards the end. 38 will be for an overtake. So someone's probably crashed off track, and that'll give him a 30-second time penalty for overtaking off circuit. So we remove that. So that's what Willie's doing now. So Wizard U would have finished. He will have finished in 6th. Yes, he would have. So yes, Yoda in 4th, and then Jake 5th. Yeah, absolutely. So it would have been Wizard U in 6th, Worth 7th, Willie Blackhammer in 8th, Chronic 9th, and then Tam in 10th. But yeah, unfortunately DNF for him. Right, so I'm not going to worry about saving the replay for that. I like to ever need it anyways. So yeah, we'll wait for them to get back into the lobby, and then we can go ahead with tonight's final race. Yeah, but it's been some good racing. Interesting circuit for these touring cars. It's obviously a classic circuit, one I'm very fond of. Obviously, it's mostly remembered for fairly tragic events, but it's nice to see F1 doing it again. Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed, AJ. Hopefully everyone gets a decent race. I know Tam struggled in that one. Hopefully it's having a bit less sketchy last race for him. So yeah, we're ready up and we'll get straight into it then. So it's a fairly long circuit at about just over 3 mile for a touring car. So it's just under 5 kilometres. But we do get the slightly longer tracks on the calendar for these leagues. Next week is the full Ruapuna Park, which is a track I don't see done very often, which is nice to see. We've also doing Hockenheim National, so a shorter Hockenheim, and then the full Brands Hatch GP is the last race of the championship. So it's a nice varied calendar. There's plenty of different tracks to do. What Imola race? For the Imola race? Track's not even out yet. Calm down. Take your time. Quickly sorting something out. So 2 seconds. Apologies. For the Sunday after release. Sorry. Can't think of any. Yeah, Imola race. Reese, your creativity, sir, knows no bounds. Ah, dear. Hey, that race, I wouldn't want you to suddenly have actual spats of genuine creativity. That would scare me. Something would be wrong. I kid. Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, by any chance? It's not a terrible suggestion, Josh. Good evening as well, sir. Nice to see you. Yeah, it looks like, I suppose that's kind of not a terrible name. I don't know, I just try to think of something slightly rude but kind of funny. I don't know. I wouldn't know quite what to... I like Reese's suggestion. Imola race. Indeed, Josh. That's the thing though in Enduros. You've done plenty of Enduros, I'm sure. Like, it's actually not that easy to have a good, clean, like, lovely, like, you know, Enduro race. Which is why they're so great. Simple, yeah, it's not... I can't accuse your idea, Reese, of being complex. You are Hydro, yes. Unfortunately, though, I'm off now. I'm joking. I'm staying here. No, yep. Race number 3. So it's qualifying first, as you can see. No, unfortunately, Fish for some reason keeps like doing well. Don't know what the bloody hell's that about. I think everyone else is sandbagging just to try and blow smoke up his bot. Trying to make him feel, just trying to inflate his ego a little bit. That's what they've told me anyway. So they want Fish to feel better about himself. I joke. He doesn't care. He's just quite good in these. Evening, Smudger. Evening, ma'am. Final race of 3, but if you want to hang around, yeah, just qualifying for the final race. Bit of Monza, Imola, other one. Oh, face palm. I did actually smack myself in the face when I said face palm, by the way. I mean, it's not exactly bad though, is it, Fish? P2. You're not exactly doing terrible. So yeah, the standings though after that previous race getting very, very interesting. Let's have a look then how they fare going into tonight's final race. Yeah, cheers AJ, much appreciated. Don't want him getting too big for his boots. So AJ now topping the standings, 194. Chaos Serio has absolutely charged up the standings this evening. Started I think in 4th or 5th tonight. Now only 10 points off the lead. So every chance he could be standing on the top of the step at the end of tonight. Mr. Fish, he's trying to hunt them down in the top 3, and he's not far off. There's only 21 points between top 5, 28 between top 6. And considering you get 3 races per night, you get 35 points for a win, point for a pole, point for fastest lap. You can catch that up quite possibly. You really can. Smoke you off the line. Oh, yeah, that BMW Fish is a tiny bit too quick off the line. It's almost silly. Like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, he's doing very well, AJ. Doing very well. Do one on the Sunday after it's out. What, just a nice casual night? Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to you after this, anyways. A little bit after the end of this race. But yeah, you can see in the stand. There's still some good battling going on. There's plenty of races. We are only halfway after this next race. So you get up to 105 points up for grams each week. So yeah, gaps can change very quickly. Just in the Ferrari? Okay, it'd be interesting. Good luck with good luck with numbers. We've always had a bit of an issue with getting casual nights to have numbers on ACC. Then you put an Enduro out and you get 130 people sign up. And we had a fair few that couldn't sign up because there were no spaces. Could have gone to even more. We probably had room for another 5 or 6 teams, to be honest, at the very least. I'm sure if we'd have had more space, we'd have had more pop in. But yeah, we'll see. People they'll be mad about Imola. Whether they will all want to do the Ferrari, I don't know. But I'm sure Imola will be popular. 90-minute race. Yeah, I'm all up for that. Of course, and I will stream that. It goes without saying. That would be pretty awesome. Looks great, as always it does with ACC. Yeah, we're at 151.6. Oh, that's a great lap to get started with. Absolutely great lap. Has to be very hard to live with. Willie in a 153.777. Going board with D-Stack. He is back with us. Setting a lap then. Sounds like he died back with us. He's always been here, but you get the gist. They'd murder everybody, wouldn't they? That's how that would go, Hydro. I mean, that doesn't take much imagination, does it? So I like your idea, but it does contain a little bit too much murder. Other than that, you're almost as creative as Reese. Are we talking ACC Hydro or this? I'm not sure. I've lost track already, to be honest. If you want to take it, Reese, like that, then you do so, Sunshine. I am not going to stop you. So over halfway then. Should remember there is some racing going on. Yoda, that's going to be hard to live with. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near that. I mean, pole times for the previous two races are 51.9 and 51.7. So 51.6 is the fastest lap we've had in qualifying. I think the fastest lap of the evening so far, though, was the quick lap from Chaos Theory in the race, from race number 2, 151.595. So very close to being the best lap of the evening. So what does it come out? So it's a week tomorrow. You can't really make that. Oh, do you think we're going to get... Unless you make it like a... Unless you start it earlier or something and make it longer than 90 minutes. Make it a little team thing. Like you would with the British GT type stuff. Either a 2-hour team one or... something like that. I don't know. Just a thought. Because people like team stuff and they'd sign up quicker. Race him at race face. You're almost as bad as Reese. Almost. Not quite. But close. I joke, Reese. I do joke. See what I mean? Right, if Reese goes, oh, that's a good idea, then just scribble that one out now. Quick. No, that's a... I'm going to say that's probably not going to go down in the annals of time. Imola. Does it not say something about you lot and your suggestions, that batch's suggestion is probably the best one so far? That's a shame, Hydro. That's a shame. Good, you know, I appreciate you still popping in and saying hello. Hello, AJ. Look at you all at the top of the standings. Try not to be too quick. So starting in ninth tonight. In this final race, Chaos Theory 10th, Mr. Fish at the back of the pack. So you've got two Beamers right towards the back. We'll be going absolutely hell for leather at the start. So let's watch Willie as he comes over the line there, see if it improves. Normally pretty close in and around that part of the grid. See Tam in the pits at the moment at 52.8, 3.7, 8.96 for a D-Stat in third. Willie on a 153.0, but he's about to come over the line. Will he improve? Any minor improvement here? Well, he should go up in second. There he does. Gets out of D-Stack. Does D-Stack improve again? Take any positions back just behind him? That wasn't D-Stack. Who was that then? That would have been Chronic. So D-Stack slightly further back. I took a punt and I got it wrong. You have not, Harry. No, this is qualifying for the third and final race. So yeah, 3 per night with these touring cars. And we are in the last minute and a half of quali for the third and final 10-minute race. It's fine. I'll be back to reflect my awful grades with some equally awful race results. Oh, nice. Consistency. I like it, Hydro. Yeah, I know, AJ. It's going to be a little bit quick. I'd almost be tempted to let them through and then follow them, to be honest, rather than fight them. You don't really want a beamer to your left, a beamer to your... I can't remember what side pole is here. You don't want a beamer alongside you and behind you. That's just not gonna end well. D-Stack then, let's see what he does. Does he improve? Try and keep that car as straight as possible. Scrub off as little time as possible. Get around that kink nicely. Very gradual. Time consistent. Hey ho. So it looks like Yoda is on for a good, lovely qualifying result again. 151.6. It's unlikely the only one's going to live with that, but you never know. Nothing validating his lap time there. So that is him done for qualifying. By the things that, yep, I think he realised that he's not getting round. So I probably wouldn't say that once I got a Series X fish. I don't know when the hell that'll be. Will he invalidate his lap? So he's done. Crank definitely done after that corner. Wizard U struggling a little bit. A little bit of sausage grab, a little bit wiggly there, but it's still going nicely. It's not going to be one of those ones where the graphics look amazingly different. It's all going to be in load times and in 2-3 years, if you know higher refresh rates and high resolutions become much more normal, this is going to sort of future-proofed. Yeah, very sold out. Very, very sold out. They're a lot faster. Games that took like a minute to load in about 11 seconds, 10, 11 seconds now. So that, and you can have, I mean, having different multiple games open at the same time doesn't really do much for me, but I'll probably use it if I know I can. To be fair, I probably would use it. Well, Wizard U popping up just ahead of Chronics. It does take a spot. D-Stack still on a hot lap. Let's see what he does then. Currently in 4th. Literally only needs just over half a tenth. Let's try and take that 3rd spot from Tam. Itsy bitsy teeny weeny Imola Racing and Machinery. That's all. That's horrendous and also quite good. Good luck fitting that on a fucking poster though. Deary dear. You can design that, sod that. I'm not going nowhere near that one. And they still get better graphics. You would still notice a difference between Xbox 360 and Xbox One graphics wise, hugely. So Yoda there, that was fairly inevitable pole position. 1:51.605 looked pretty solid very early on there. He set that time very early doors. I think Willie probably put that into the results a good 6 or 7 minutes ago. Tam loves Imola then, I can see. Well, you can have half the name of the event written down one side there, or do you want Imola written on your car? I don't know. But yeah, Yoda, cracking time, well done there. Nearly a second clear of Willie in 2nd. Tam in 3rd. D-Stack 4th. Woof in 5th. J-Hig in 6th. Wizard U 7th. We had Chronic in 8th. AJ, Chaos and Mr. Fish sitting out quali in 9th, 10th and 11th. So final 10-minute race of the evening. And then we will be halfway in this championship before we are off to New Zealand, if they let us in next week, for Ruapuna Park GP. Haven't seen those done in the touring cars. Going to be very interesting. That first corner is going to be carnage. Right, 3 red lights, they are all up. And they are off, and hopefully no jump starts, and we can watch these beamers from the back having an absolute go. I'll always go back to Chaos Theory and see how he's faring. Mr. Fish trying to follow him through very early doors. So it's quite a long run down to the first proper corner, so to speak. Down to Tamburello. Gets through just nicely there. Everyone clean so far. Always nervous when I say that, because that normally heralds something going terribly wrong. So Yoda holding on to that pole position nicely. Got on board with the front runners once the cameraman finds them. Oh, no, there we are. We'll give the other cameraman a go. There we are. Yeah, no, there's a reason. Oh, it's just too much. The game would explode if it tried that hydro. It honestly would. Oh, Tam already with a time penalty. It's starting as they all mean to go on, I'm sure. Some headlights already going on. Go faster headlights. That's, I'm sure, how they work. Otherwise, why would they turn them on? Yeah, that's true. That's a fair, good point, Neg. Like, very well, good point, well made. So everyone's still going. Everyone pointing in the right direction, which is a relief. AJ will have to try and force his way through. Let's go and have a look, actually, from cockpit view. So not the easiest corner. It's one of my least favourite corner in Imola. Not easy at all. Always letting someone through. So he's clearly agreed that he's either taken slow. I think AJ has a tactic around here, and it's fair play, is that everyone gets so many track penalties that if I take my slowdowns, I've got a solid chance of still finishing quite high up. Can I have a tattoo instead? Yeah, so what does that mean? Well, long story. So Mr. Fish hasn't really pushed up the grid so far. Still down in 9th. So 4.5 seconds back from the lead. And he's going to do well to catch up with the rest ahead. Yeah, no, it's so this is probably one of the tracks you'll see some of the least close racing because it's quite difficult and quite penalty heavy. You can see Yoda going wide there. Willie's going to move up the inside with the switchback. Willie will still be on the outside of the left-hander. So has Yoda been able to keep far enough ahead? I don't think he has. So Willie has time penalty as well. Yoda still clean without penalties. Terrible camera switch there. Looking at going 3 wide. I'm glad they opted out of that in the end. You can see though, worth making a shout of this. Alongside Tam, 3rd and 4th. Right behind the leads too. You've then got Chaos Theory and D-Stack not far behind. They've got J-Hig in for company. You've then got Wizardu, Mr. Fish, the 2 in the BMWs, and you've got Crunk, Chronic and AJ at the rear of the pack. Yes, track limits are pretty pants. I mean, they're worse here, I think, but some tracks are worse than others, but yeah, they're not great, especially when you drive other games that get it better. Oh, they'll keep the leagues will stay like this for a while, Hydro. I don't think too many of these guys are popping off to a PC for a little while yet. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do. Costs a bit expensive. Oh, a little tap there. I think that was worth on Yoda and Alt. There's Willie with his customary bit of crap luck. And he's going to have to rescue it from last again. So, yeah, I think we could see a few incidents being reported. And I think that was worth on him again. So I think we might have a couple of incidents reported against him this week if he's unlucky. Not sure. We will see. I don't know if his car's lagging a little bit. It does seem to be rubber banding a tad. Yep, that is a car that's not got a great connection. So I wonder if that's someone else's connection or it's just his. Got to be careful. If someone was to see that, like Mr. Fish, for example, he could say to him he's got to drop out if he's genuinely lagging on track. Hopefully he's not lagging with everyone else, but it doesn't look great. It does not look great. But yeah, it depends how it looks to the rest of the drivers. Oh, 2 cars off in the background, so it's interesting to know whether that was a fully fledged incident or 2 people making an absolute mare of that that corner. So that was who was that at the back then? So Willie's still at the back. So D-Stack's back on now. Willie behind him. He's got AJ just ahead. We saw had these issues earlier on. Getting on the back of Chronic. It's all pushing very hard now. J-Hig up in 7th still. He's still got Mr. Fish and Wizardu, the 2 BMWs. For company, still trying to be getting in their slipstream. Try and pull him along a little bit. What's he do up to 5th? Not doing badly in this race. So AJ, D-Stack and Willie at the back. You see all these numbers going red one by one. Let's go back up front. I haven't seen these guys for a little bit. So still fairly close near the front. Chaos Theory trying to hold on to that 2nd spot. Tam having a look around the outside, down in the inside into the left-hander. Nothing doing there. We're still just behind him. No time penalties. Let's see what they are at the moment. Oh dear. So Yoda's got somehow has got 32 seconds. So that will be passing someone off track, which is a bit weird because he's been in the lead the whole race. So that might be. They're normally taken away. Very rarely. I don't think I've ever seen a 30-second penalty which was left applied because no one's ever done the thing that they're giving out for. So I'm fairly sure that'll be removed. Don't know quite how he's got that from 1st position, but well done nonetheless. Oh, it does. They were quick last race. They started at the back, and everyone else is kind of quick enough to just hold them off. You should have seen the first race. The Boomer at the front was about 2 seconds ahead by the time they got to turn 1. Miles on front. So it definitely makes a difference. The top 3 still within a second. That's it, Mr. Fish. In front of this little midfield train with J-Hig and Wizardu right behind him. Chronic as well, not too far off. Trying to close that gap up to Worth, you can see in front, who's just got a time penalty as we were saying his name. It's only 3.5 minutes to go now. Racing this evening. Let's go on board. That was Yoda and Tam. Yoda down into 3rd now, so starting to struggle a little bit. Chaos Theory doing his thing though, getting into the lead. He could disappear now. They have to be careful here. Tam's going to have to try as hard as he can to latch on. No, they're. I don't know. The BMW is still really strong around here, but it's not strong enough that it completely negates like You still have to have a really solid race to take advantage of it. If you know what I mean, it's not where you can. You can't sort of just abuse its power and fly off into the distance. But still, in the lead at the moment, no time penalties at all. Tam, Yoda, does Yoda have time penalties? He does. Woof does as well. Mr. Fish, next driver who doesn't. Jay Higg as well behind him without a penalty. And they're not too far back. They're only, 2.6 to 3.4 seconds behind. So the guys in front, if they get enough time penalties, which are, let's have a quick look now, 2 seconds to Tam, 36 for Yoda, so that'll be probably 6. And not 36. 3 for Woof. 3 for Wizard U, 6 for Chronic, and 2 for D-Stat, and then obviously 1 for Willie at the back. There is still quite a lot of things that can change. 3 second time penalty for Woof at the moment would put him back in 7th, so it changes positions pretty drastically. And they knew it was going to be like this tonight. It's the same for everybody. It's just the ones who abuse it the most are going to get the larger time penalties normally. So it's a shame they never sorted that out, the time penalties on this. They with one of the patches, I think it was the 3rd or 4th update after this game came out, I felt the penalties were in a really good place, and then they modified them again and it just got worse, which was a shame because I thought they were just about right. They'd pop up but then they'd go away, they'd quickly evaluate, and then they'd disappear. A bit sideways there, not quite how we'd like to be taken, Tosa. It's got to maybe leave him, I thought it might leave him a little bit vulnerable coming up the hill, but maybe that BMW just rescuing a little bit. Can't get anywhere near him to punt him, man. It's hard to get anywhere near. So Tam is trying to do his best to keep him company, but he's got Yoda on his tail as well, so he's got 2 fronts to attack on here. He wants to keep Yoda behind, but he really wouldn't mind having a good fight with Chaos up front. But Chaos, he just doesn't make many mistakes. Uses all that track very nicely, very, very consistent. So there's a reason he qualifies for these esports events, but he's also rapid, absolutely rapid. Don't you flipping dare, Tam. I'll kick you out of OTL so fast. It's hard to tell with Tam the way he drives. Sometimes it looks like he's trying to punt someone, but it's not. It's just sideways, like Tam always is. So final lap then of racing the Syrian, all going back in the background. Jay Higg having a look at the back of Woof. Both on the tail of Mr. Fish. Mr. Fish on for a 4th position. So it's be very interesting to see what this does for the championship. It's just getting closer and closer, especially as Chaos has such a good night. Jay Higg looking up the inside of Worth. Is he going to be able to make that move? I think he might be able to. Coming down into Tamburello. He's going to get on the inside. Worth on the outside. Both of them leaving each other enough room there. Very good driving from both of them. Worth doing a great job. Oh, yeah, he's just maybe kept his foot in it a little bit too much there as Worth, and nothing wrong from Jay Higg there. Just Worth being a little bit too ambitious on the old throttle, and not using enough of the old middle pedal. If you get it a little bit more slowed down, you might have had a chance to stay 2x2 there. But they were driving nicely up until then. Let's go back up front. Chaos Theory looks pretty comfortable here. It's comfortable with Yoda though, so he wants that position back from Tam. So we'll see. We'll do the points as if the 30 seconds are going to be removed, and we'll double check why he got it afterwards. So it's still never seen a situation where we leave the 30 seconds penalty. Oh, and Yoda, is he going to rescue that? Well, fair enough. Well, I mean, it's not the quickest way round. The game's going to give him penalties for it, but my God, did it look good. So if we could add style points to you there, Yoda, if you watch this back, we would, but apologies, mate, we can't. So, but that looks absolutely cracking. Well done. Not quick, but entertaining. Oh, Jay Higg, another sausage curb abuser there. Hopping it up in the air. Wizard U might have a look at the back of him now. Lost lots of momentum coming down to the final couple of corners. Maybe will he look down the inside? I don't think he will. Will Jay Higg be smart? Take that inside line. Or he gets a bit squirrely himself. He's going to go long. Wizard U's going to have a chance to get past. He is. Oh, it's a shame for Jay Higg. That's unlucky. But Chaos Theory, doing what Chaos does best. Yet again. Comes across the line to take utterly dominant evening there. That for Mr. Chaos Theory. 3 wins out of 3. Tam with a 2nd spot, just ahead of Yoda. Yoda will start falling down the order now, but I think he will keep his 3rd. Tam, Jay Higg, Wizard. So Wizard you dropping back behind Jay Higg after the time penalties. Has Worth, D-Stat, Chronic, Willie Blackhammer and AJ coming home in that order. AJ I think just gets Willie on the line here. Yeah, he does. So not flash for the cameras there. Little, can he roll it? Oh, nearly. Good effort though. Good effort, AJ. So yeah, it's a close league, and it's very quick, very easy for that to happen. So league leader ends up down in 9th. So let's get the all of the places on screen. I'm doing the results later on. So yeah, great racing, all involved there. So I feel there might be a few incidents to report, but we will have a look later on, see what comes in, and sort them accordingly. So yeah, Chaos Theory, does he get the fastest lap as well? Oh, never mind, no replay for me. 151.638. Yeah, comfortably the fastest lap in the race. Great driving there from Chaos Theory. 151.638. Just ahead of Mr. Fish. Another solid result from Fish. Another second position. So that means, how many did he get tonight? So Fish, yeah, so the top 2 were Chaos Theory and Mr. Fish in every single race tonight. So fair play. That BMW clearly pretty strong. Definitely not overpowered everywhere, but yeah, definitely worked very nicely here. We've got Tam taking 3rd at the moment, so we don't know quite whether Yoda's penalty will apply. I think even if you take the 39 off, if you take the 30 off, you're still giving him 9, so he would still end up in 5th, I think. He would be behind J-Hig. So he would be on, quick bit of math. Yeah, he would be on... So we'll have to work that one out afterwards. But yeah, drift you can. Yeah, just a tad. It's a great corner to do that, though. I've done that there before. You lose it a certain way, you can just sort of keep your foot in it, keep the opposite lock, and up the hill you go. It's lovely. So yeah, Yoda was 41.877 back in the end, so he would have been... $11.877, which would put him in 5th. So he would be just behind J-Hig, I think. So J-Hig would still be... I think J-Hig would still be 4th. Just double checking I do this right before... So I'm pretty sure it'll be that way around. So they are provisional to change. Can we find a car Chaos is awful in? It's quite difficult to find, if I'm honest. Hydro, quite difficult to find. Man's quick and everything, which is a bit irritating, but, works for him. So yes, if that, hopefully the points I've done there are correctly. We can see how the championship is standing after the final race of the evening. So Chaos Theory now jumps into the lead of the championship. Mr. Fish up in 2 seconds. A great night for both of them. Mr. Fish tied though with Tam on 207. 202 for AJ in 4th, so only 5 points further back. 188 for Yoda back in 5th, so a little bit cut adrift now for those top 4. Willie Blackhammer in 6th, 41 points back. J-Hig in 7th. Captain Crampy in 8th. D-Stack 9th. Worth down in 10th. Crunk Quadic in 11th, and then Wizardoo sitting in 12th. So yes, pretty sure that's the correct points for J-Hig and Yoda. They might change, but pretty sure that the way I've got them around there is the right way round. Makes me only say I won't be surprised if he's still beating me. Yeah, yeah, he's fast. I mean, so he qualified to the Logitech G Challenge quarterfinals. So the boy's quick. Right. He's a bit rapid, is he? So yeah, there's no shame in that. He's just fast. Not much we can do about that, but yeah, he's humble fast. He's there's not an ego there, and fair play to him for that. It's not easy, not always easy. But no, some good racing tonight. Pretty much all round. I'm sure there will be a few incidents maybe looked at afterwards. Not often too many reported from the championship. They normally have a look. They understand that no one's doing it on purpose. People just make mistakes or it gets a bit close. They generally only report stuff that's really stupid or really silly. But they're pretty good on accepting their fault, and everyone goes, "We'll move on." So, yeah, it's a good way of doing it. But they do get reported. They do report the stuff that needs reporting, so we won't mind that too much. But yeah, nice close championship so far as we head off to New Zealand next week for Ruapuna Park GP. So that's on the Tuesday as always. So please join me then. I'll be back this Thursday in a couple of days' time for round number 3 of our ACC GT3 League on PC. That's season number 5. And that is round number 3 at Misano. So please join me then. Lovely large grid of GT3 cars swanging it round at Misano. Should be good fun. Lovely track. Thank you very much, Chaos. Really appreciate the man. Superb driving tonight. All 3 races. Absolute beauty of a job. That is well done. Yes, the first round on race room of our BMW 235i Championship from Knutstorp Ring. Really catchy. Very interesting circuit. I think a few of them might struggle around there this Friday, but yeah, join me then, usual time, Friday evening. Going to be an eventful one in the very least, I'm sure. And then I'm back next Monday with the final round of our sprint race series on Automobilista 2, and that comes from Taruma International. So yeah, do join me there for that as well. It's Chaos DQ for having the wrong livery on the points table. Oh, did he? Oh yeah, he has. Oh good, that means someone gave me the wrong points. That means he's been driving the wrong car the entire league. It doesn't, but okay, fair enough. We'll have to adjust that. Good spot though, thank you. Absolute shambles. The rest of them are right, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest are correct. Yeah, so Chaos, that's absolute dreadful form. So what number is your car, Chaos? Do let me know, and I will get that changed on the spreadsheet, or one of the other guys can do it. Can never not spot orange. No, it's pretty hard to miss. I'll give you that. It's very difficult to miss. Cheers, Dan. Much appreciated. Only way is sideways. Don't worry, that's the thing with you now. So don't take it as an insult. It's very much I mean, it's not necessarily a compliment, I suppose, but it's not an insult either. So drive it like it, stole it, likes it sideways. I still think your gamer tag should be wham bam tam. Just that's the way how you drive. It gets you. It works for you. Not dirty or anything. Just Larry, I think is the word. Lots of wheel movement. But hey, you enjoy yourself, and that's what matters. So yeah, cracking racing tonight. Nice tight championship as always, and thoroughly enjoyed that. So yeah, do join me again next Tuesday. But I'll be back on Thursday at Misano for our ACC GT3 League on PC. So do join me then. Until then, stay safe, take care. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday evening, and I will see you all next time.